Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, right here where you're watching me. And the other place where you're not watching me is either Facebook or YouTube. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And here we are, 3:33 a.m. And laundry's in the dryer. Meals are planned. I was just tracking some food for the rest of the week. And then I forgot to do a video this morning. Silly me. So I've got some questions for you. You know, our food issues make us so emotional. We become these, run by our emotions, as if any of you aren't familiar with this, right? So I wrote down a few. Is feeling fat an emotion? Is feeling bloated an emotion? Is feeling stuffed an emotion? Is feeling gross an emotion? How come we treat these as if indeed they're emotions? They aren't emotions, right? Emotions are happy, sad, glad, angry, excited, withdrawn, giving up. So fat, gross, and throw in ugly too, because I used to say that too. Fat, gross, ugly, bloated. Ugh. Those feelings, I was just calling them, well, I call them feelings, what the heck. Those words just ran me so bad. And yes, I still get bloated, but I now accept it as part of just how my body is, how the day goes. The more when I'm at work and I'm talking a lot, I think I swallow a lot of air plus chewing gum. We've already been over that. It's a habit. It saves me. The other day I had some Novocaine from some dental work and I bit my lip. It's so funny when the Novocaine wore off. Speaking of bloated, there's this fat lip where I bit it and I didn't even realize. It's just kind of funny. So if you're feeling fat, gross, bloated, stuffed, these are things that we get ourselves into jams about. And one of the things that I do, or I know, or I feel, or is factual, and it just is that if I'm feeling those things and I'm not tracking, there could be a correlation. If I'm feeling those things and I'm tracking, it probably is more in my head than true. Because if I'm, tracking and then following what I'm tracking. If you're tracking what you're eating, it should be a nice, smooth sort of day, right? And if I'm not eating what's on my tracker, I could have those feelings. They could be related to guilt. If I'm having some no-nos that I'm not tracking, totally not on my food program, and so those are the things that I feel after having them. And so we don't want to feel, one woman just came back from a vacation and she was naughty and she feels like crap right now. She thought she had it all knocked. And a lot of people go on vacation this time of year and some come back and it's a victory for them, and others come back and they caved. And I'm sure that when you're with your phone, I'm not sure if you borrowed a computer at a place out of the country and you did your app online. You probably could, right? I don't know. You were able to track things. I don't know. But when you're stateside and you're doing your regular routine, you don't want to have what we call those feelings. And so we do that by really honoring what is on the tracker. And if you're going through the day and you're hungry, angry, hangry, frustrated, stressed, those sort of things. Maybe you're not getting enough of what your body is looking for. Are your foods densely nutritious? The less that's done to them, the more filling and nutritious they will be for you. So, if you're having a salad with dark leafy veggies, with healthy fats on it, maybe even nuts, maybe some avocado, you should be satiating yourself. You should end up feeling satisfied. And not the full from overeating and eating junk gives you, but the fullness and like I just filled my body. Now, as some of you may know, I've been having this meal replacement vanilla flavored Garden of Life, powder. And the first time I had only 1 scoop, and some people can have 2 scoops. I don't know how they do it. They probably go the whole day. And so with 1 scoop, the way that I make it like it's a mousse. I was so full right through all my hangry time, which is mid-afternoon, right to dinner. And it was great. And yesterday, I had just a half a portion, and I kept half of the berries out and put them on top, so it's more fun to eat, with my half of ounce of dry, roasted, salt-free cashews added to the top. And it was delicious, and it carried me through to dinner along with a little bit of the salad that was left over. Now for me, it's the healthy fats and oils that seem to carry me. The nuts, the oils, the yogurt, full-fat yogurt, the coconut milk that goes into this little mousse, and things like that. And I'm finding that when I have those things for my lunch, that it gets me through my hunger time. And so I don't cave and then feel fat, gross, stuffed, and bloated. I just feel full and appropriate full. So for some people, their tough time is after dinner. And we've gone over the nighttime eating part, and it mostly is a habit. If your body is still craving food, you might not have had a nutritiously dense enough dinner with all of the nutrition, the proteins, the fats, all of the things that your body might need. And when I have my dinner, I'm done eating by 5 or 6. We eat at 4 or 5. And so I have my bulletproof coffee in the wee hours right now, between 3 and 4. And then between 9 and 10, I have my bone broth. And then my stomach is gurgling by then, and the broth kind of quells it just a bit. And then between 11 and 12, I will have my substantial breakfast-lunch combo. And that holds me, because my time is in the middle of the afternoon. And so I think identifying when your time is it because you've earned it, like it's that reward if it's nighttime eating? Or is it at work when it's kind of stressful and that jar of somebody else's little mini candies it's been talking to you for weeks, and this could be the moment that you cave and you don't want to, right? In the old days, I would say have a piece of fruit, but I think fruit begets more sugar cravings because it spikes your blood sugar. Speaking of that, did any of you see the black M&M bag? I guess they're trying to take out as many artificial colorings as possible in their M&Ms and Skittles, which I think is part of the fun. I mean, at least when I ate them, it was part of the fun. But good for them, making some sort of, thank you, Mars, the owner. I don't know what the rest of the ingredients are on the back of the Skittles and the M&Ms, but hey, just becoming a little bit more aware of what the public would like works, right? So anyway, making sure that you have enough of what holds you and carries you over. I'm not a big fan of snacking anymore. I'm a big fan of, for me, the 2 substantial meals with the liquids leading up to the 2 substantial meals. So there is what we call intermittent fasting. And my bulletproof coffee carries me over because it's filled with the fats and the coconut milk, coconut oil, Kerrygold butter, and half a tablespoon of Zyla. And that carries me to the 9:10. So identifying what your non-feeding cravings and triggers are, right? Because if you're, if we call mealtime feeding, then what do we call the snack time, the other time, when you're feeding your mental hunger more than you're feeding your tum-tum? So identifying those and then putting into place what you need to do, the skills, the tips, the tools to either make you get through it, past it, or what if you have to have that snack, if your life is built around that snack, say you're on Smart Points and it calls for snacks and you want to have something, is it something healthy like peanut butter? I would suggest staying away from the fruit for the snack. Is it, a hunk of cheese? Is it pepper strips and a hunk of cheese, or peanut butter and I don't know, what could you have with it that's not wheat? I don't know. Or, a half an ounce or an ounce of some nuts if they allow. But those things, whenever I've had nuts midday, when I was allowing myself to have that midday snack, it works. There's something in the density of that cute little nut. Definitely weighed and measured. I definitely weigh and measure my little nuts in my little baby food glass jar containers that I got from Amazon. And they're adorable. And those little nuts can be looking at me all day long. But now I'm liking them on my JJ Virgin coconut milk mousse with the protein powder in it option at lunchtime. So this has been a mishmash of different things, but identifying what you think are hungry times, which are really mental hunger times, and if you're not ready to attack them, just being aware, I think is step number 1, and then if you want to give them up, if you're realizing that could be hindering either your weight loss or your head stuff, that habit, that thing that just stays with you, that really serves no purpose, which is for me, midday snack, for some of you, the nighttime snack. So, if you're ready to work on getting the tools, sharpening them, and then giving up these mental hunger habits, this is the place to be, because this is the stuff that we talk about. And if you're totally enjoying snacks in the middle of the day, snacks after dinner, and it seems to work for you, it doesn't call out to you, you can have enough and then be satisfied, then you're lucky. Share below. But if you know, it's always funny when the true confessions come out. It is always after the deed and the person is willing to work on it. That's what I'm finding. They'll say, now that I'm out of it and I'm back to tracking and drinking water and having what I should be having, now I can tell you, it wasn't fun. It was a bear. I was lying to myself. I was lying to my tracker. I was lying to you guys. So, you know that feeling when we really, really, really come clean and we stop the ruse? I hear it all the time in AA. Okay, now I can tell you, I was smoking pot every day before I came here. Oh, really? Wow. Okay. So for us here with the food, if you're sneaking stuff and you're ready to come out of that dark, dark cave, this is the place to be, because we talk a lot about the emotional stuff surrounding the true, real hunger. And it's fascinating once you get there, once you get to this level of your food recovery, it's wonderful. And I'm so glad that you listened to my 15 minutes of blather, and I thought I had nothing to talk about. Enjoy your day. Be good to yourselves and track. See you the next time. Bye-bye.